couple of months ago when I was back in New York, I stopped by a club called Catch a Rising Star, which is similar to places where new talent breaks in, places like the Comedy Store and the Improv, and it's good they have places like that because that's where the new talent really gets a chance to work. And they're tough places to work because sometimes you work in front of other comedians and other performers. And I was back there and I saw this young man, and he had some very funny things to say, so I asked him to come out and be on the show tonight. So would you welcome, please? This is his television debut, David Sayh. David?
Thank you. Thank you very much. This is my first time out to California, and I was very excited about it. I was staying in my hotel room trying to get some rest, and I couldn't sleep because I was excited, so I was watching television, and you get these public service announcements real late at night, and I saw one that you may have seen. Do you have a drinking problem? If so, call 741-1156. That's Carlisle's Liquors. You've seen those. News is great, too. I was watching the news. Coffee just went up to over $5 a pound now. Pretty soon it'll be $90 a pound. I expect to see guys hanging around on the street corners selling at $30 an ounce. You see those guys, right? They're going, hey, man, you want to buy some coffee? It's Colombian. I know those kind of guys because I grew up in New York, and every year in school, we used to take the eye test. We had one cardboard eye chart in the whole class, and everybody had to use the same one. So after the 15th kid, everybody would have it memorized. Right? Teacher would say, cover your left eye and read the chart. We'd go E, X, F, L, O, T. Now cover the other eye. E, X, F, L, O, T. And I used to get in trouble a lot in school. One time the teacher said, write, I will not talk in class 500 times. So I wrote it twice, I will not talk in class, I will not talk in class. Then I got tired of doing it that way. So now I go into mass production. Start the assembly line. I. Will. Then all of a sudden the whole thing starts to go to the right by itself. Like, whoo. Like you had no control over it. And in the earlier grades, like in kindergarten, we used to play with crayons a lot. Remember those little green and yellow packets? You had like the 8-pack, then you had the 20-pack for the rich kids. Then that real big one, the 64, the one that looked like a stadium. Then we open a box seats, mezzanine, grandstand, upper deck. Oh, thank you. Wow, thank you. School was great. As I said, in New York, in the 4th grade, they gave us the Iowa test. They give kids a New York test from Iowa. I couldn't figure that. They were very middle of the road. They were like, if Johnny has 2 jelly beans, and Billy has 50 cents, and jelly beans are 5 for a penny, how many can the boys get? That's the kind of stuff you're going to use every day. Right? I found out later on in Iowa, they make those kids take the New York test. They're a little different. They're like this. Hey, you hanging out in the schoolyard, all right? And you got 7 bills. Now, your buddy Vinny, he shakes you down for a deuce. Now, you push in his face. If you could run 30 miles an hour, how long is it going to take you to get to your mother's house? Oh, my God. Thank you. You're wonderful, really. I'm having a lot of fun. That was in the 4th grade. The 11th grade was a little different. 11th grade, you had to start planning your future, and they made you take aptitude tests for guidance purposes. They were very scary. Those were the computerized ones. And they made you use that magic pencil, that number 2 that only the computer could read. And they would tell us, if you have to erase, you better erase it good. You better, man. Because if you get a smudge mark on there, or you drop a cootie on it, the computer's going to see it. Right? And then at the beginning of every section, they gave you a sample question. And samples are always real easy, right? They were never like the real ones. You get the sample, the word analogies like up is to down, as in is to what. Then you turn the page, you get to the first real one, and you see 6 words from another solar system. Right? I never knew any of those words. You look down, nepotism is to despotism, as incarcerated is to what? Hey, teach, what happened up and down, in and the out? Then they show you 4 pictures and ask you which one doesn't belong with the other 3. And they show you a hammer, a screwdriver, a pliers, and a carrot. I don't know, this is rough. And then they told you, if you don't know one, don't guess. Because if you do, we can tell. Even if you get it right. Right, if you get it right, the computer's going to go. Doesn't that count? Lucky guess. We used to believe that, so we'd leave them out. Sometime you wouldn't know one at the end, it was all right. But if you didn't know one right at the very beginning, like the second one, and you left it out, then you put the answer from the third one in the box for the second one, and the fourth one in the box for the third one. And you do that all the way down the answer sheet for 490 questions. And you don't know you did it till you get to the last one. Right? And you got nothing to put in that space. Then you realize something's wrong, you go over your paper, right? You start to erase the whole column of answers. You got a big smudge mark on the whole paper. Now you start to erase the smudge, you get holes. And at that point she goes, pencils down. You get your test score back, find out you have an aptitude to be a rhesus monkey. Right, next year you find yourself in that special class, making planters out of ragu spaghetti jars. And you know what kind of guys you get in that class too, right? The teacher would say, make up a sentence using the word ominous. And guys go, hey, ominous gang. Thank you, good night.
David Sayh.
Come on, David.
We can't believe it. He's sitting back there saying, for me? As I thought you'd like him. I saw him in New York, and he got the same reaction in New York. It's bright, funny stuff, funny word pictures. I think you're going to hear a lot from him. His name is David Sayh. We'll be right back with Dr. Paul Ehrlich.